80% of attraction is pre-selection. And that's kind of the secret to how you get a hotter girl.
Yeah.
Is
The guys who teach pickup now, there are some people out there that teach it that are way, way, way more direct than you. In fact, there's a book by Alan Roger Curry called Mode 1, where it's basically immediately express massive amounts of intent and let a girl know that you want to have sex with her immediately. No, I'm just curious, like, what do you think about that? Like, these are all derivatives of something that you started. What do you think about where the whole pickup industry has gone, say, in the last 10 years?
there's a difference between direct and indirect game.
Yeah.
Indirect game is not a mamby-pamby beating around the bush, metaphorically speaking. It is a way of playing solid game, of building true connection and intimacy, in my opinion. Direct game is an offense in many ways. It would be an offense in a corporate environment, and in world-class pickup, there's no place for grabbing a woman's arm as she walks past and pulling her towards you. Things of that nature, direct game, or even approaching a girl by herself. It's so rare, to be honest. Those scenarios are so rare that you should be focusing on the three set. 2/3 of all approach scenarios are the three set. That's three people in a group. So you should be practicing and fantasizing about what to say to a group of people and how to run the set than what do I say to a girl to attract her to me. It's a different fantasy to review in your head over and over until you're ready to deal with the real thing and face beauty head on.
So one thing you mentioned in a previous interview, you talked about don't sexualize the conversation, like let the girls do that. So would that be part of the indirect approach?
Ooh, don't sexualize. Baxter, who is an incredible pickup artist and good friend, great friend of mine. We've known each other many years. He doesn't sexualize his pickups, his interactions, but he has an odd sense of humor that is very overtly sexual. And so you're not apologizing for being a sexual being, but you're also not trying to get them aroused.
Got it.
That's indirect. Arousal happens in seduction. And first you have attraction, then you have comfort, and then you have seduction. If you do it backwards and start in seduction, then you're playing a game of fool's mate. And that comes from chess metaphor. You can win the game of chess in 4 moves, but that doesn't make you a chess champion.
Yeah.
That just makes the opponent naive. Doesn't make you better. So a typical game of chess is 25 to 35 moves. A typical game in pickup is going to be somewhere between 4 and 10 hours, accumulating time by the minute like a lawyer would. And you hit the average 7-hour mark, and she'll seduce you. So go after women who are worth the time.
You are actually, Eric, I think you're the first person to ever say the word social circle to me. I think you were the first person I ever heard the term from. And then I just took that idea and ran with it. But yeah, I've noticed even with cold approach pickup that things are different because of girls being obsessed with their phone. And you remember that show out of Canada, Keys to the VIP, right? It was like access to certain places. It was like cold approach pick. The reason why I bring this up is I live in Las Vegas. Everyone has boot camps here. Every pickup company has boot camps here. And one of the things I noticed is that they can never get on stage. They can never get in the VIP. And that's what Social Circle brought you. And that was part of the thing that I noticed that was different, that I sort of updated in the last 15 years. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, it's a really good situation to be in if you're in a city that can afford you to do that.
Yeah.
Certain cities around the world don't have, the Vegas vibe, we'll call it.
Yeah.
We'll call it rooftop patios.
Yeah.
Because that's the real secret, guys. If there are gentlemen listening in on this, rooftop patios are where you're going to find great situations to approach groups of people. It's where it's expected, in fact, where you can hear chatter anywhere in the world. You can hear chatter. You're in the right place for cold approach pickup. And it's a very pleasing sound. And no matter what language they speak, it sounds the same. And you're in the right place when you hear
it. But here's the other thing, though. Like, you'd be part of my social circle. And that's the thing. What I loved about social circle was that it gave me access. It got me into the Playboy Mansion. It got me on stage at the Maxim parties. It got me into that kind of stuff. It gave me a level of access that I thought was pretty amazing. And it allowed me to be indirect because of a concept. You talk about pre-selection. Pre-selection is really easy to do when you walk into a club with 10 girls. And it's actually easier to walk into a club with 10 girls than you think. It actually is way easier than you think.
Pre-selection.
Yeah.
That is pre-selection. You don't need 10 girls. 2 is okay too.
2 is good. Yeah,
you
2
can
is
get away
good.
with 2. 4 is better. Then you're chaperoning. But if you go in with 2 women, it's going to sweeten the hot spot. It's going to get you in faster And it's also going to allow you to open adjacent sets with greater safety. Something that has to be considered when you open up a new group of people, they're going to judge what emotional state you're in. So if you open with a big ass smile, they know you're in a good mood and they'll be less threatened by your approach. But a lot of guys don't smile in the direct approach.
Yeah.
They're like, hey, what's up? They're trying to be sexy and they're opening in seduction. They're ass backwards. They're opening at the end. When you watch a Christmas movie love story or a Hallmark love story, they don't kiss at the beginning. They kiss at the end of the love story. Pickup is supposed to be a love story. Remember that. That's why it's called the pickup arts.
When you talk about the term was pivot, having a girl that you go into the club with or a girl that's friends with, do you ever instruct a girl that you go out with what you want to do beforehand? Do you ever give them any instructions?
No, other than I make sure they're in a good mood and that they're willing to be social. I do say we're going to meet a lot of people tonight.
Yeah.
So, get ready to put your game face on, and that puts them in state so that they're going to meet lots of people. And then, there have been times I've run boot camps, which are 3-day events. We take a group of men out in downtown entertainment district environments, venues like nightclubs, and we meet scores of women.
So I have some female friends that are pivots, and they're usually like big models, and like often they'll be married or have boyfriends or whatever, but they're just girls that I go out with, and we'll go on stage at a nightclub or whatever. And then like, let's say I'm talking to a girl, this is back when I was single. Let's say I'm talking to a girl, I would tell kindly, I'm like, wait 30, count to 100. And then after 100, come and reach from me behind and pull me away from this girl. I would tell them to do things like that. Or I'd have my other friend come up and like kiss me on the cheek while I was talking to a girl. And it was good. So that's what I mean by preparing beforehand with pre-selection.
I don't prepare them, but I do jealousy plot lines. And that's where you open 2 sets and let both women of interest in each group meet each other.
And merging sets.
And by merging sets.
Yeah.
There's 2 ways of merging sets, by the way. There's a forward merge. That's where you say, come on, let's go make some friends. And you meet new people. Or you backwards merge to a previously open set or the people you came with, by saying, hey, let me introduce you to some good people. Hey, let me introduce you to some good people. That's a soundbite, or let's go make some friends. So you've got 2 sound bites to use in field to do something to move the set along. You've created some social proof. Good. Now let's open the next set and get the next girl interested in you because she's seen you with the first girl. That's pre-selection. 80% of attraction is pre-selection. And that's kind of the secret to how you get a hotter girl.
Yeah.
Is she sees you with women and feels safer around you and more intrigued.
So again, we talk about the divergence of, because when you were teaching pickup, it's very different than the way it is now, Eric. I'm just telling you right now, like, do you believe
I was in Hollywood this, past week, and I've been gaming nonstop over the last several years. So yeah, I'm up to speed as well. I really feel it.
No, what I mean by that is there's a lot of guys out there who think things that you don't agree with. Like, for instance, the concept of men and women being friends. Do you believe men and women can be friends?
Oh, that's philosophical. That doesn't really come into play during my boot camps. Can we be friends? Of course we can be friends.
How about the concept of you having a bunch of female friends that you go out with and be social with on a regular basis who introduce you to other women?
I think that's really a level of game that everyone in pickup aspires to do. Level 1 is opening groups. Level 2 is merging sets. Level 3 is allowing last night to assist you in this night's successes by bringing women out with you again. And level 4 game is building a social life, a whole month's work of work, going out 4 nights a week, meeting a dozen groups of people per night, getting 3 numbers a night. It's your choice to, with who you want to see again.
Yeah.
You're going to, at the end of that month, have collected somewhere around 50 numbers.
Yeah.
Right.
So you might say,
out of that, how many show up to a party?
Yeah. You might say doing cold approach to build a social circle.
Exactly. Playing. What if you started in a new city where you don't have a social circle? Well, you got to start at level 1, son. You have no other option than to start with what you see. There's a 3 set. Go open it, right? Hopefully you'll see them again and they'll come out with you the next time, hopefully the next night, and you'll get a snowball effect happening in a party weekend rolling. That's how we do it. We choose 3 venues per night on boot camp.
That's awesome. Yeah, man, I can't wait for you to come out to Vegas, man. I really can't, because what you just described is what I've been trying to build here. So now, back when we used to go out '03 to like say '08, the prettiest girls were at the coolest nightclubs, and I feel like because of Instagram and especially because of Only, a lot of that has changed. And so what I've had to update is like create events that get them to come out and then create these huge social circles, social proof events in order to make it work. And I'm just curious, like, have you noticed the same thing? Because I feel like social media change, like cold approach, direct pickup or indirect pickup, I think was extremely effective, like just say from 2000 to like 2008. But I think social media made it harder.
Right. And so Baxter and I have been focused on true cold approach pickup. Now, that doesn't mean we're walking up to girls all by themselves. We both recognize that women of beauty are rarely alone. They're usually in groups.
Yes.
So we're going to meet groups of people and then merge those groups into adjacent groups to create social proof for ourselves and to create opportunities and choice. So that's a part of cold approach pickup. It's a great night out.
Yeah.
The time.
Have you inculcated like dating apps or social media into your game at all?
I have only met one girl off of Tinder as my experiment, and that relationship lasted 2 years.
I had Kezia Noble on here a couple weeks ago, and we talked about this concept. Whereas, again, text messaging kind of got big in '04. I remember watching you on stage at Eben Pagan's event, Get Altitude. I don't know if you remember this, a long time ago. And at that place, they started asking questions about this upcoming technology called text messaging. Then in '04, it kind of took over. It was bigger in Europe before that, but in the United States around '04. Since then, though, the ability to DM on social media platforms, like where your photo is still there instead of being 10 digits, do you recommend still text messaging, or do you ever DM girls, like for a time bridge to meet up with them again?
Well, there are two types of women on my Instagram, for instance. Those I've met and those I haven't.
Yeah.
So I'm only really concerned with those I've met because those are people that I would think are new friends, right?